So hello all and welcome. It is I, the realist philosopher, and this is the realist philosopher show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine and well. So in my last video, I was addressing the whole controversy around Turkey Tom and the ex-girlfriend alleging SA and saying the dude was into some weird kinky stuff, like the slap, like the punch, made her bleed during the act, all sorts of weird stuff. But that was just one of 4 pages of this broad's posts on Kiwi Farms. So anyway, without further ado, let's get right back into her posts where we left off last time. Okay, so in this next post, she's responding to someone named Brutality. Interesting. One could say that was what she was subjected to. Did he ever give you any sort of aftercare, or did he just expect you to get over it yourself? He would just go on his phone or Discord after literally choking, hitting, and making me bleed. LOL. Wow. That's... okay. Had to teach him to be nice after. Jeez. This was an issue at the beginning. I believe the bleeding was caused because he would basically just beam me over, choke me, and stick his D in. What? No foreplay? No, munching of the proverbial muffety muff to get her, lubed up, just going in like dry. Oh, that's not a good idea. Katie had the same story. Reaching out to me has been helpful in understanding how bad this really was. You didn't know it was bad originally? That's why I say this broad isn't normal. If she was normal, she'd know this was bad, right? Leads me to further believe that she grew up in some kind of abusive, dysfunctional household. Because I only had told my roommate after one time, it was pretty rough. Wow. Okay. Some bizarre shit if true. And this is her responding to someone named Polentic. Has Tom attempted to reach out to you at all since you registered and first posted? Sacramento 89, the ex, replies, I told him I was considering reaching out to law enforcement. For what? I don't understand how there's anything for law enforcement to consider. There's no laws that have been broken here. What are you going to reach out to law enforcement for? Oh, he smacked me the first time we had S, and I didn't object, and I just went along with it. So, arrest him? I mean, even if you could make them believe you, he'd have to admit it. I mean, it's just a he said, she said, right? Well, I mean, in this pro-woman society we live in, I guess, a lot of times they'll just take the woman's word, but you ain't going to get no prosecution with this. And I doubt any prosecutor out there would press charges, though maybe you could find one. I don't know. Anyhow, she goes on to say, telling people about everything that went down, and then I blocked him after listing out every single thing he did wrong. After the fact, why didn't you list the things wrong that he did when he did them? This is very strange. Because I know he will send my text to his lawyer. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a lawyer. I mean, he's got money. I don't know how much. Again, the dude rents a house, so how much money does he really have, right? Anyhow, this is our next post. Dan of Steel said, you mentioned just in case folder. Can you confirm or corroborate what would be in that folder? Well, how would she know? Maybe she saw a folder. I mean, I think he just told her he had a just in case folder, right? I mean, this guy is terminally online. How often is he going to be away from the computer with it turned on while she's in the room? I mean, I guess there would be times, right? He's got to take a piss. He's got to hit the head. He's not going to turn the computer off every time he leaves, right? He's not going to put it in sleep mode. I mean, I guess there probably were times, but if I were her, I would be very careful about that. It'd be very easy to get caught. Maybe she saw the folder. I doubt it was labeled just in case. Anyway, and do you know if anything related to you is in that folder and what type of material is in it? She says, no clue. He told me it was phone calls, texts. He records phone calls? I guess he lives in a state that is, single party consent. I don't know. I have to wonder, though, if you're speaking with people over state lines, if the laws in their state would apply, and if the two-party consent is required. So he's talking to somebody in a state that requires two-party consent, even though he lives in a one-party consent state. Would the two-party consent laws apply to the person on the other side of the line, and therefore he could be charged? I don't know. I mean, you'd have to prove these phone calls exist. He just told you a vague reference to a file. Anyway, text calls from his ex-guy. I'm probably in there too now. Might be other stuff as well. It's all speculation beyond the existence of a quote-unquote file. Next message reads from someone named Harm. Tell us about a time he cried. She replied, he told me he cried at Sopranos movies? He cried at the Sopranos? Isn't that the show about that gangster family in New Jersey or something? I don't remember exactly where they were supposedly located, but I don't remember anything to cry about in that show. Jeez, that's bizarre, man. Well, I've seen the show. It was a long time ago, though, but I don't remember ever wanting to cry. Maybe laugh, but cry? That's weird. Okay, this next message from somebody named Munching on some Grindage. Weird name. What did Tom's living space look like? Was he messy? Did he have empty cans and boxes everywhere? Did he own anything weird? She replied he had piles of dirty zins piled up, like little volcanoes. What the hell's a zin? Can of zin. I guess I'm old, not a touch. I don't know what the hell a zin is. They say cans. I guess it's a drink. What is it, like an energy drink? I have no idea. I mean, I'm familiar with like Red Bull and Monster, which I love. But Zin? I don't know. Yes, empty cans and bottles everywhere. It's almost like she's playing to the audience. Like whatever question people ask, she answers with what she thinks they want to hear. I don't know. This chick, I don't know. I'm sus of this broad. She's kind of sus. So the next post is from somebody named Vibe Guy. He says, that's battery and illegal if it's without consent. But no, it's incensus complied. Are you implying it was consensual? She should report him to the police if she suffered bodily harm. She says, he would choke me without ever asking. All right. So first of all, I would say that you would have a case if you had actually objected and left and then filed charges at that time. That would make sense. But waiting months or years later, no. And by the way, you didn't wait months or years later. You continued to date the guy. You continued to accept gifts from him. You continued to have sex with him. You continued to fulfill his weird kinks and fetishes. You allowed this behavior to continue. You participated in said behavior. I mean, if you go and rob a liquor store, your boyfriend says, "We'll go and rob a liquor store," and you don't say nothing, and you go in with him. And you participate, but you never consented, you're still part of the robbery. You're still responsible for your actions. You don't have to say, yeah, I'll do it with you. If you do it with them, you're part of it. You can't then distance yourself and then say, oh, well, I didn't say I would do. I didn't say it was okay. I mean, you did it. You were there. You were part of it. What are you talking about? I didn't consent. So stupid. Yeah. So you didn't, I'm thinking about it. Think again, sweetheart. I don't think you have a case. Well, you might, because people are such simps, including law enforcement. They might actually entertain this dribble. Probably going to be one of my last posts on here when more S eventually comes out about him. Just know I warned y'all. Honestly, I don't think you have a case. At least if we lived in a sane world. But unfortunately, we live in this clown world where up is down, left is right, and women have all of these superior advantages in society and are treated with kid gloves, and they're given, special treatment under the law, and their word is worth more than a man. So, you might actually be able to make some charges stick, unfortunately. Not that I'm saying what he did was right necessarily, but you said it was okay by not saying it wasn't, and actively participating for 7 months. Okay, the next post is from Vibe Guy again. He says, picture up, lawyer up. The court is neutral by design. But it's not, though. A woman's word is worth more. Have you looked at court cases in regards to time a man and a woman serve for the exact same crime? It's across the board disproportionate. Men serve way more time. They get way heftier sentences than the women if the women get sentenced at all. So I don't know what you're talking about, pal. You don't know what you're talking about either, Vibe Guy. You should make a steady case if he indeed did hit you without consent. What does that mean? What do you mean without? There's implied consent. It's called implied consent, you idiot. And without warning out of nowhere. Shut up. You're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. Stick with your vibes. Because you're an idiot when it comes to logic or reason. You're stupid. Then I just expect them or anybody to take your word for it. Well, actually, you are asking people to take her word for it because it's a he said, she said. Not because you were wrong or defective. Well, she's got to be defective if she dated Tom. But because that's how legality operates. No, that's not how legality operates. You don't know how the law operates. You're a dummy. Do not expect miracles, nor that the case will go through in your or his favor. It may or may not be dismissed, but she could sue him. She could go to civil court. The preponderance of evidence is less there, and it doesn't have to be beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the route I would go, sweetheart. Although, again, I don't know how much luck you would have. I mean, you seem like a gold digger to me. You stuck around. You put up with it. This probably happened from the get-go. How many times did you see this guy before he had sex with him? And did this happen the very first time? It was probably within the first month. Hell, probably within the first 1 to 3 dates. And you kept seeing him for 7 months because he bought you gifts, because he took you out to nice meals, allegedly. And you continued with the relationship. And you didn't object. You didn't have a problem with it. Until you found out about his weird, goofy exes and his strange behavior and the e-girls being flown in. And so, you found out he was a bigger freak than you actually thought. Maybe he broke up with you. It sounds like actually he broke up with her. I think that's what she said. Because, well, whatever. I don't recall exactly. I don't care enough to remember, but I think it was him to break up with her. But regardless, that would lead to me to believe she's jilted and wants revenge. And her prior behavior paints her as a gold digger. And also leads me to believe she didn't have a problem with the behavior, because if she did, she wouldn't have dated him for 7 months and let him do all that each and every time they were together. So, I don't know. I don't know what case she has. Anyway, okay. If there's evidence outside of Kiwi Farms, which is not evidence, not good evidence. How is that evidence? You're just saying something. That's not evidence, you idiot. Well, I understand the law. If she posted it, shouldn't have an impact on the case. What does have meaningful impact is she can prove without a shadow of doubt she suffered bodily harm, but she can't. She can't just point to a bruise on her face and say, oh, this person did this to me. Do you have video of him actually hitting you? No. Which can ensure no countersuing due to ambiguity. But there's plenty of ambiguity unless you have actual evidence of the person doing the harm. The harm itself is not evidence, you idiot. Not of the person doing it, unless you have video evidence of them actually doing it. The defense will claim she retracted her consent after the fact, not before or during. She can win the case if it's proven she did indeed not consent. No, incorrect. The recording or bodily harm. People have sex all the time and they don't say, the guy doesn't ask her, can I bang you, pretty please? And then she says yes, and then they bang. What are you talking about? Idiot. This case will get dropped neutrally. Okay, she can be open to count. All right, whatever. This is all stupid. This guy's a moron. I don't want to read any more he has to say. He's just too dumb to even quote. Thanks. Already been in contact with a lawyer. Yeah, of course you have. Yeah. A lawyer. Not the police. A lawyer. She's looking to cash in. Because I know Tom has too. Yeah, Tom's been in contact with a lawyer. In fear you might go to the police. But you're going to a lawyer because you want a civil suit. Yeah, because if there was any actual crime here, you would have went to the cops, right? Yeah, the difficult part of this case is that most of the proof is in his hands. Yeah. He scrubbed that by now if he has half a brain. The gooner that he is, he probably has wants to watch your, S tapes over and over again, even though he supposedly quit corn. So would need to get a subpoena for that if his snivelly ass hasn't figured out how to, like, perma-wipe it yet. Yeah, you can perma-wipe that stuff. There's programs that can scrub your hard drive. And if you scrub the hard drive enough times, even the best hacker, cyber security punk isn't going to be able to get in there and find anything that is of any real use. Yeah, I mean, Hillary proved that, right? He's going over those hard drives with a magnet as we speak. Nah, maybe not. Again, I think he's pretty fond of those old S tapes. Okay, onward to her next post. Dick the Master said, "Is that why he's been quiet for a while? Has any of their ex considered legal action against him?" And she responds, "Hello. If by quiet you mean social media is YouTube, he's been quiet because he hates his job. Too many people took him out of context." Hates his job? What do you mean he hates his job? Does he have work we don't know about? I didn't even know he had a job. Wait a second. Are you talking about his YouTube thing? Where he just does like a drama expose slop? Where he essentially compiles information that various other content producers have actually researched and fleshed out in videos, and then he just cobbles it together with his own bland, monotone commentary and passes it off as content. You mean that job? That's not a job. He hates that? What are we talking about? Isn't he at the very least 100,000 there? And doing pretty well because of that slop farm of his he's got going on? We talking about job. Wow. Hates his job. How about he get a real job? He's never had a real job. He should get out there and try real work and then tell me about hating your job. You should be loving your job, pal, because your job isn't a job. It's just you being chronically online all day. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe you spend too much time online, and that's why you're depressed and down in the dumps, and maybe your negative feelings, negative emotions are being fed by all the substances you're imbibing, probably booze and cocaine and other substances that are causing you to constantly soar high and then crash, and so you're just a miserable C-U-N, you-know-what-T, because you're on all these substances all the time, messing with your body chemistry, messing with your emotions, constantly on this up and down roller coaster. Oh, man. Anyway, I'm not sure if any other ex has considered his blackmail folder on Kai, maybe. And her next post is responding to Dick the Master again. He says, "I just remembered Lyrics once contacted Jalen and claimed to have dirt on him. She says, I'm waiting for Kai to come out because I know she probably went through some crazy S as they dated for 3 years. 3 years? Isn't Turkey Tom only 23? Wow. So she probably was kind of his first love. They dated for 3 years? If they dated for 3 years, she must be just as crazy as him. Okay? Oh, just as crazy. Yeah, and only after he dumped her probably. Who knows? Maybe he dumped her, maybe she got wise and left. I don't know, but, like attracts like, and if they were together for 3 years, then they're very much alike. Two dysfunctional people make a very dysfunctional relationship. Like may attract like, but two dysfunctional people cannot make a relationship function because they're dysfunctional. Okay, so Sacramento 89 is... she's not responding to someone, but she's posting here saying, I'm just going to go nuclear because his imminent crash out. Says that crash out is imminent. Is it? I don't know. But yeah, he would get mad about me calling our encounters our play over text, which is essentially what they were. I mean, so what? You went along with it. It's called implied consent. You went along, so I don't understand. I mean, if you go along on a drive-by shooting, you can't then later claim, well, they forced me. Or it was not consensual. I didn't want to go. Well, did you get in the car? Yeah. Did they force you to get in the car? No. I don't understand. Did you participate actively? Well, I drove the car knowing that they were going to pull out Uzis and blow these people away. But, I I didn't consent. What are you talking about? Oh, God, this is so stupid. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Let's see these text messages. Okay, so there's Turkey Tom's basement, first of all. Not bad, actually. Can't make out those posters. Looks cozy. Is that a real fireplace? Probably fake. Yeah. You switch it on. Yeah. Fake flames. Yeah. Create a mood, I guess. I wonder how many times he banged her on that couch. He said he'd just pull it out and go right in. Bend her over the couch at some random moment. Jeez, this guy. Oh, no, see that symbol up there? She's got him blocked. Now, anyway. Yeah, love the Batmobile. This is my basement. Oh, wait, you're at your own house. Yeah, not my parents, my house. I had to stop there to look around. I like the Despicable Me poster, the E-Girl R dungeon. Your house is nice. It's almost like she's trying to get him to cop to something. I gotta wonder, was this chick from very early on trying to use this relationship as a way to, entice and gather dirt on him, and evidence of some kind of wrongdoing, so she could later on blackmail him? Yeah, it's nice. I don't want to miss it that much. That's epic moments. Is there more? Do not say R times. Okay, sorry. Change that to consensual S encounters, which is what they are. Thank you. She says, I know. Yeah, she didn't say they were non-consensual. I don't see her. It seems like she's trying to get him to go along and admit that it was R, so that later on she could, then file a lawsuit against him and say, hey, I've got you admitting this on a text message, don't you know? Yeah. And there's a reason he's careful. Yeah, she says, oh, he was so careful in text messages not to admit anything. Maybe there was nothing to admit. Oh, it seems he believed it was consensual S encounters that you are calling non-consensual. How interesting. Yeah. That's why you got to listen. That's why you got to hear from both people. Don't take the woman's word. Don't believe all women, please. But okay, sounds good. I like to, as I said, just got to get work done, but I think I can still be there. Okay, yay. Are you mad at me? Okay, so she's posting again here. I guess she wasn't getting enough interaction, enough questions asked of her, so now she's just, stopped responding to people because they probably weren't interacting with her as much as she'd like, and she's just proffering this stuff without having to be asked. More proof that the girl he sent his nudes to was an age player. Okay, let's see. Should be interesting. Well, might be interesting. I don't know. Stuff is slow to load. All right. Like, bruh, why does she... I don't even know what you're saying to me. She looks like a crazy person, and she dresses like a child. It's weird. It's okay, though. Which one is it? Is it weird or is it okay? I agree, she is weird and disturbed. This coming from Turkey Tom, the bisexual Destiny cum guzzler? Okay. I don't know what to say. I was taking anything at the time. Wow, really? Wow. Don't tell abroad that you'll take anything. I was desperate at the time. I'd take anything. Oh, boy. Yeah, you can tell he's 23. He didn't know how to talk to women. She says, I have Gooner mutuals with her, unfortunately. Wait, who's... I'm just a little creeped out, but that's okay. I also get creeped out, and she also not so. I stopped talking to her. That genre of women are demons. Every one of those types I've met. Which types? That genre of women are demons. Like, actually effed me up. I was friends with one for a while when she was insane and effed me over. What do you mean friends? Like friends with benefits? Yeah, well, this chick's insane, too. I feel bad for how bad her mind is. She dresses like a kid, so I think it's weird. She dresses like a kid. She's trying to get him to admit he likes women that dress as kids. She's trying to gather as much dirt as possible, and it seems like she's trying to lead him down very specific paths, manipulate him to try and get him to admit something so that then later on she'll have dirt on him. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one with the blackmail file. I don't put it past Tom to have such either, but, they're not mutually exclusive. They could both have blackmail files. They could both have them. This chick, though, she seems to have an agenda. She seemed to have an agenda going into this relationship, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I know I've Had people come onto me because I look young because I'm small, so it's weird. Well, that's not, well, young and small are not necessarily the same thing. I mean, you can be small and not young, and you can be young and not small. Okay, whatever. But yeah, I don't know how you saying she looks young is proof that she was an age player. I didn't see any proof there. He just said it was weird. He agreed with you. He was just going along. You were having a casual conversation, but he just said, "Yeah, it's weird." That's your cooperation. I didn't see anything about age play. What are you talking about? And by the way, what do you mean dress young? I don't know what dress young means. She wearing diapers. I've heard that's a weird kink too. Sorry for being cringe, but yeah, proof he was in contact with her during our relationship. Okay. Let's see what she considers proof about contact. Her idea of proof is pretty lame and not proof so far. Just putting that out there. All right, N-word. It's become very popular, especially on Kiwi farms. Like every other word, and most of the posts on there have the N-word. I don't know what you're trying to say to me. It's okay. Sorry, I'll drop it. LOL. Well, that's good. I have some Aztec Mayan magic in my mind. I told you this broad's got some screws loose. What was she talking about? That's pretty random and out of nowhere. Am I crazy? He replies, no. Yeah, he's thinking, yeah, you're nuts. You're talking about magic, but I like your poon. And you let me make it bleed and you don't object. So that's good. You let me do anal as well, which I wouldn't be surprised if she let him do that as well. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're thinking about Aztec Mayan magic while I'm talking about, hamburgers. Okay, that's interesting. You sound schizo to me, but you let me hit the pooper, so yeah. Yeah, no, that's not crazy. But I don't like you being judged and annoying about this. I'm not being either of those things. Then what would you call it? She says, I don't know. I think I was just mad because I saw you texting this girl nonstop when we hung out, and now I put a face to the name, and it freaks me out that she's like weirdo pedo baiter. Again, this seems like a leading conversation, like she's trying to get him to cop to something, talking to a broad that is a pedo baiter, and so implying that he's a pedo. But I am being annoying, you're right. If I didn't have to talk to her, I wouldn't. Why would he have to talk to her? Could you explain that? But I regret even telling you about the situation that was unfolding now. Why has he got to talk to her? See, there's two sides to every story, people. She says, I'm sorry. So next time I'll keep it inside. Yeah, don't share anything with this broad. Anyway, I gotta go to work. I gotta go work out. Oh, okay. What workout? Did you see that picture of him on Tinder? There ain't no working out going on. I mean, if there's working out going on, he's doing it wrong. She says, are you mad at me? A little bit, yeah. This guy's got anger issues. If every time he's hitting it, he's making it bleed, I think he's angry all the time. Low key, maybe, but angry. I just got up and I'm being hit with whatever this is. Interesting. Childish drama. Okay, so her next post is in response to Levy, who said, was he on a date with you and texting another woman? She replied, yes, he was texting that creepy hoarder chick. Creepy hoarder? I mean, did she call herself that, or did he have that in her, like as her name in his contacts? Creepy hoarder. Wow, it's bizarre. I think hoarders have major control issues, man. These are like super insecure, like hyper anxious individuals. Saw her name was Ellie and figured out her account pretty quickly because he told me she was sort of a Belle Delphine looking broad. Really? Show me this chick. Had some Gooner mutuals on IG with her. What's a Gooner mute? I don't know what this stuff means. I don't even really know what a Gooner is. I mean, I think I do. Isn't it just somebody that watches like Corno and, fist pumps the meat sausage? I don't know. I don't understand. Okay, Gooner Mutual. What's a Gooner Mutual? People don't speak English anymore. Or I'm just getting old with her. When I saw she dressed like a kid, my stomach dropped. What do you mean? Could you define what dress like a kids mean? Was she wearing a SpongeBob, shirt or something? I don't know. He told me the texting was to talk about the hacking situation, but they still talked after the situation faded. I don't know what this hacking situation is. Somebody fill me in the comments. I have no idea. Maybe she'll go into more detail. I hope so. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff being alluded to that I know nothing about. I have no idea what a Gooner Mutual is. Maybe you can tell me that as well. I guess I'll Google it later. God, it's so sad. I actually have to Google this stuff. Modern day nomenclature. I just don't know what some of this stuff means. That's how you know you're getting old, man. Young people start using these terms. It's like, what does that mean? Okay, somebody named Zev said you should be filing police reports. No, she shouldn't. Along with his other exes, if he did abuse you. Oh, hanging around here too long rarely works out for noobs who don't understand the site. That's it. That's my warning. Be careful. I wouldn't recommend spending much time on Kiwi Farms. That's for sure. It's not a good place. There's a lot of people there, have nothing going on in their lives, and they'll try to entice you to provide them with information so they can then dox you or cause you problems or troll you, be difficult, because, they got no lives. She replied, I'm working on it, and asked Joshua for advice. Joshua Moon, the site owner? That's the last person you should go to for advice. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to run a website. This place is dying. Kiwi Farms is just mostly inbred morons. I mean, there's some nice people there, but the majority are just, chronically unemployed people, chronic life losers, chronic short end of the stickers who like to blame other people, and just a lot of misanthropes there. Site's not growing. If anything, it's shrinking. And yeah, it has a loyal following of the exact same people who basically seem to resent anybody new coming in, and they do as much as they possibly can to make it sort of kind of a members-only club. And the owner himself doesn't really help. He participates in this kind of behavior, so he's a fool. I wouldn't ask this guy for advice. By the way, hadn't he been running this site since, a while? 10, 15 years or something? It's been around a long time. Is it making money? Maybe it makes ad revenue. Maybe there's ads on it. I don't know, but it could be doing a lot better. But anyway. Okay, so Dick Damastis says, I remember when he said it takes a while for him to get erect and that he has a body count of 3. I guarantee you, this Destiny wannabe, this, play on his dubious fame and 100,000-air, success renting a house, I guarantee you his body count is more than 3. She says body count is 15 plus now. Him or you? Since being 2 in March of 2022, according to Katie. Him? Okay, according to Katie, so we're talking about him. So his body count is now 15 plus. Well, is it 15 or is it more than 15? And more, is he saying more than 15? I mean, he doesn't know the exact numbers, but it's at least 15. So it could be 20, 25. At 23 years of age, as a man, that's quite a high number, actually. For a guy. For a woman these days, with 23, no, that's actually not high these days. I mean, that's a lot, actually. Especially when I was young, yeah. But for a dude, yeah, he's a degen. That's a lot. Okay, so according to Katie, part of why I said something, he has definitely been a weirdo with more girls because he sleeps around. Yeah, I guess he's got money to burn, I suppose. I don't know. Is he doing well on YouTube? Does he get a lot of ad reads? I mean, I could give you a rough estimate of how much he'd be making based upon views from when I was actually making money on YouTube back in 2016. That's ancient history, though, baby. Maybe the ad revenue model has changed, but I think it's still the same split amount-wise. I don't know. But I could give you a rough estimate looking at his monthly numbers. He probably does pretty well. And I don't know how much he's getting. Like, I don't know what kind of sponsorships he has, but he could be making over 100,000 a month, you think? Maybe 50? I don't know. I don't know enough to really proffer a number. But anyway, body count 15 plus at 23 as a man. Yeah, that's a lot. He's a degen. And in fact, that's since March of 2024. Okay? So less than 2 years, he's, was two. But in less than 2 years, he's probably banged 15 broads or more. Okay. Jeez. Wow. Interesting. Feel sorry for this guy. He's following in Destiny's footsteps. He's going to have an empty life. And probably a kid that hates him too. Yeah. The last thing you want to do is make Destiny your role model. This guy, I mean, whatever relationship he had while he was cleaning carpets with his first squeeze failed. Now he's got a kid that, is a borderline Nazi going in the exact opposite direction of his liberal father. His kid hates him that much. I'm surprised the kid's not on some kind of live stream daily with a, marker, a drawn on Hitler mustache and doing the Zig Heil thing. Yeah. Okay, so we've got Dick Dalmaster asking, did he threaten to hit your head with a brick too? Come on, man. Haha, no. But he was working on a video about his ex, Alex. Dude? Last time, dude? A dude ex? Wow. Kebab Expert says, it really is not uncommon for normie young women to say, she's not a normie, dude, okay? Are you kidding me? To screenshot dating app matches, profiles, conversations, etc. to share with friends, either to get input. Seems like she screenshotted a little too much, okay? A little too much. Zoomer women hoard screenshots. Yeah, you're sweeping for this chick because she's a chick, you simp. A side effect of growing up with cell phone in your hand at all times, she likely has more screenshots of her matching other men who didn't turn out to be public figures, too. But not sure why she's avoiding the question, maybe overwhelmed by the thread. Yeah. Or maybe she was quite intentional about all that screenshotting. Can you address the above question? It's been asked by numerous people, and clarification would be appreciated. Also, for your own safety, consider staying out of the dating scene completely until you were able to pinpoint why exactly you put up with this for so long. Yeah. And why you wanted to be with a corn addict who beats you during sex, cheats on you. Somebody with half a brain here is actually, mirroring some of my queries and goons the girls who dress and act like children. Apologizing to him while talking about him messaging an age player e-girl is more than just cringe. It's concerning. Hope you get proper help. Yeah, this girl needs some help, that's for sure. Good Lord. Yeah, I can address, would screenshot my matches sometimes to document and put a face to the name. Yeah, but seems like you screenshotted every message you had with this guy. When I got their number, not to be crass, but as a young, somewhat attractive girl. Yeah. Okay, somewhat attractive. But we ain't seen your pic, honey, so I don't know. Probably is, though. You get a lot of matches, and it's hard to keep up. Why would you match with Turkey Tom? I saw that pic. You had to have better choices. You said the guy's profile was empty, and he looks like a goofball dork. Get a lot of matches. It's hard to keep up. I always had a feeling there was something about him. But you matched with him. You stayed with him for 7 months. Why would you match with him? You think she actually recognized him, and she's just pretending she didn't because she wanted to get with him so she could get some blackmail material and maybe, threaten to initiate a lawsuit later on unless he coughed up the dollar bills? I don't know, man. I get the feeling this broad had ulterior motives. I just don't see anybody responding to the profile that Turkey Tom posted. And she said that he didn't post anything about his fame, his YouTube career, so you don't know what this guy does. He could be working at Arby's. He could be working at Chick-fil-A. He could be dunking fries at the local McDonald's. And this guy with his bicep flex, a bicep that doesn't exist, and covering half his face with a cell phone and no information in his bio, and that pathetic peach fuzz mustache he has to try and look more manly, and it's just the worst, most unfull mustache you've ever seen. It's horrible. It's ridiculous. It's like he's cosplaying. It's like he's LARPing as an adult, as a man. It's a joke. I can't imagine any woman replying to that. And he's like 5 foot nothing, and yet somehow he's getting good-looking broads responding to his Tinder. I don't think so. Not unless they. I mean, she come on. Something's not right here. Something's not adding up. Either she knew who he was beforehand. I don't know, man. This is sus. There's some stuff we don't know. Okay, so Sacramento Post. One more thing to add I thought was odd. Never really expressed any interest in Hello Kitty or that type of e-girl stuff. Okay. I had like one Hello Kitty figure in my car. All right. Well, you had a Hello Kitty figure, so that's expressing interest in Hello Kitty. That's not odd at all. It's almost as if she's looking for things that she can point out as oddities that actually aren't oddities and make perfect sense, just so she can continue to try and talk about him and garner attention and try to paint him in a bad light. As a gift, Tom bought me Hello Kitty pajamas. Okay, what's wrong with that? He knows you like Hello Kitty because he saw a figure in your car. I don't think that's odd. And a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff similar to what Ellie Creepy Hoarder wears. Isn't it possible that's just a coincidence? Because you did have a Hello Kitty in your car, and kind of doubt that he was never in your car in a 7-month period. So that's of no interest to me. That doesn't mean anything. I don't think that's odd. Okay, so the Sultanine said that's horrifyingly ironic. Laugh out loud. No, it's really not. She had a Hello Kitty in her car. It's a perfectly reasonable conclusion to make that she likes Hello Kitty if she has Hello Kitty stuff. Do you have proof he purchased these for you? A message, so he bought her a gift, and she's now trying to mock him for said gift and imply that it's weird or unusual. Use it as cannon fodder against him. Use it as some kind of way to paint him in a negative light. Wow, no good deed goes unpunished. A message or gift receipt or something. The profile being built about him on this subject keeps going. Nailing him on it with enough proof would be catastrophic for him. No, wouldn't. No, wouldn't. She already said she had a Hello Kitty in her car. Well, how was that catastrophic? She says, I have pictures of the stuff and a message. I said, well, you have pictures that you have a Hello Kitty pajama set. That's not proof he gave it to you. And even if he did, who cares? You already said you had Hello Kitty in your car. This is so stupid. I'm not even going to read this message. It's just dumb. So it turns out she also met his family, which leads me to further question the validity of this chick's allegations, as that would point to it being a much more serious relationship than she initially alluded to by trying to say, we dated for a few months, and it turns out they dated for 7 months, and now it turns out he actually took her to meet his family. So she's coming across more and more as a jilted ex-lover who didn't get the commitment that she wanted, and now she's trying to use information she has about him as dirt against him, yet more evidence, guys, that you should not ever share your feelings with a woman, let alone anything she could use against you in the future. So somebody named Wild Drip asks, how is his family and his relationship to them? She says his family was nice and normal. Yeah, I doubt that. You don't seem like a very good judge of character, sweetheart. And your lack of self-reflection and self-awareness makes me question your perceptual abilities. I don't think you have a good read on people. I can't imagine that they could possibly be nice and normal. I think they were just putting on an act for you, and I think you're a very shallow individual who's lacking perception, probably doesn't have much in the way of empathy either. I don't think you are very good at reading people. Yeah. Why would we trust what you have to say? And look, they produced Tom. Are you really going to tell me that? Now, yes, granted, can a dysfunctional, whacked out, a drug addict, degen come from a normal family? Sure. You can make bad choices in your developmental years and continue to make bad choices, choose the wrong path, and damage yourself to such an extent that by the time you're 23, you're a disaster like this guy. But just as often, it's the parents screwed up somewhere, or a lot of somewheres. I really find it hard to believe that his parents and family are normal and nice when they produce this. But he was rude to his mom, like an edgy 15-year-old. Okay, could you be more specific? Can you tell us exactly what he did? Told me he wouldn't do anything his parents asked because he has his own money now. It's interesting. So it's almost like he's purposely going out of his way to rebel as much as he possibly can. Rebel against what? Overly controlling parents? I wonder. I wonder. Yeah, I'm getting the feel more and more here. These are not nice, normal people. Nice, normal people generally produce nice, normal kids. Not always, because again, there's a lot of negative influences out there that can entice a person down the wrong path to make bad choices. But by and large, yeah, not always, but generally it's the parents. More often than not. Katie heard me on the phone with his mom and said the same thing. Not sure what went wrong because his family's super sweet. I mean, they're going to be on their best behavior around you, of course. And I enjoyed my time visiting with them. Lady, I get the distinct feeling you come from a highly dysfunctional family. So maybe these people are nice and normal, putting on their best face for you. But that doesn't mean anything. It just means you're not, perceptually acute enough to pick up on the underlying red flags and to see whether or not they're putting up a false front. All right. And she doesn't have much life experience, so that's not really surprising. So, Kay also would drop the N-word casually in front of his parents, which was so weird. But I'm from the South, so maybe it's different. I don't know. No. That is weird. I mean, he's trying to act out and show his parents that he's the boss of his own life. He's in charge, and they can't tell him what to do. Yeah, it's very childish and immature behavior, though. What's he rebelling against exactly? Yeah. I don't think these people are nice and normal. I have my doubts if they produce this. Okay, somebody named Jandal says, and they're talking about something I don't know what they're making reference to. I noticed this as well. He also asks her about Bluey shortly after, which are usually completely unrelated characters, but Ellie buys a lot of Bluey clothes. I don't know who that is. Pretty sure. What? What are they making reference to cosplay or I don't know. I don't know what this stuff is. Pretty sure Shirausa was her. Okay. She says, he showed me the holes in his wall in real life and on FaceTime, but I didn't get a pic. That's interesting. Seems like you got to pick everything else, including his D. Told me he was paying the owner of the house he was renting to get the holes fixed. He can't fix them himself? Boy, this generation, it really is lost. I mean, it's not hard to fix holes even in sheetrock. Yikes. Wow, this kid is totally useless. Well, he's never had a real job, so. Yeah, told me he was paying the owner to fix it. I could send pictures of inside his gamer room. Wow, why would she take pictures? See, something's not right here. See, okay, I can maybe believe that she would screenshot texts between him and her that she could chit-chat about with her friends or something. I don't know. I mean, it's all the novelty of it, being in a new relationship, maybe her first relationship. All this is new to her. The roller coaster of romance, the up and down of it all. Oh, it's so exciting. Sharing it with her friends and going tee-hee-hee, and they're each sharing information about each other's boyfriends. Okay, maybe I can understand that to a certain extent, but what the hell is she taking pictures of the inside of his gamer room for? This just all seems like kind of a setup to me. Like she's trying to gather as much of what could be considered harmful information that can make him look bad so that she could then use it at a later date. Okay, this guy Dick Damasta is back again asking how is his brother. A clip that I post here seems to imply his brother is the better of the two. She says, great guy, super normal and chill. Really? I don't know. Yeah, so it's generally, I mean, it could be like a toss-up fitty-fitty. I don't know. In my experience, again, and maybe it's, not the majority, but in my experience, generally, parents went wrong somewhere. Just because one kid is super chill, that doesn't mean anything. That means nothing. Oftentimes a family will have a black sheep, and one child gets treated completely, totally different than the other. And the parents can treat the one child horribly, and the other like the golden boy, Chad. So really, again, this doesn't mean anything. And so what if he seems super chill to you and normal? Just on their best behavior. I don't know. You don't know. I'd have to meet the person. Unlike this chick, I can actually tell if somebody's being a fake, a phony, a fraud. But anyway, yeah. Okay, here's the next post. Yes, please. Piles of dirty zins on the desk. LMAO. Okay. Well, this picture, just the small form of it, it looks normal. He's got a double screen setup. I mean, that's kind of cringe. He's not a stock trader. He's not a customer service worker. Oftentimes, those people need two screens. But other than that, yeah. It looks normal first glance. Let's blow it up a little. I mean, I think she's exaggerating a lot of stuff to try and garner more attention and sympathy. I'm not sure how seriously I take her. Okay, so there's his chair. Okay, that's not a Zin. That's a Monster Energy drink. What's Zin? He's got. All right. So we've got the box for one of the monitors behind the desk. So he's too lazy to throw the box out, or maybe he just bought them. I kind of doubt it. That box has probably been there a while. Looks like he's got two cameras. One that's like a, higher resolution, more professional, and the other that's a webcam, which is to make sense. Looks like there's some editing software here, which again would make sense. He does his own editing. Okay. Good way to save money, I guess, which leads me to further believe he's not all that rich because he's doing his own editing. I see one Monster Energy drink can on the desk and some kind of canister, breath mints, mustache balm, I don't know, and a plastic cup, plastic sippy cup, plastic cup with a straw. I don't see anything wrong here. It's wood floor. I don't see piles of crap. It looks relatively tidy. I mean, the wires behind the desk are a mess, okay, but he's got some boxes. Otherwise, what's she talking about? It looks fine. I don't see the problem. Okay, so she says, also want to clear some things up. I don't have BPD, okay. Katie does. However, before he tries to come at me, I was open about the fact to him early on that I was sent to a mental health facility. Okay, so her next post is, also I want to clear some things up. I don't have borderline personality disorder. Katie does. However, before he tries to come at me, I was open about the fact to him very early on that I was sent to a mental health facility. Twice! Wow, prior to our relationship. Wow. By the way, sweetheart, that's bad. And just so you know, borderline personality disorder isn't really classified as a mental illness. Personality disorders are not mental illnesses. So just so you know. So you're actually self-owning here by saying you suffer from mental health problems. Personality disorders are not classified as mental health problems, disorders per se. So you're actually worse off having went to the loony bin. Just so you know. Probably not a good idea to tell him that. Not that he didn't already see you as a mark he could manipulate and use for what you were trying to refer to as vile pleasures that you were 100% on board with and participate. And we know you were on board with it because you didn't object and you actively participated. So don't give me this I didn't consent verbally crap. Probably not a good idea to tell him you were mentally ill. This guy is drawn to mentally ill broads because of depression and eating issues. Huh. Yeah, depression. Rich person's problem. Problem of people ain't got anything going on in their lives. Oh, I'm depressed. Yeah, go get a job. Get a purpose in your life. You'll watch your depression magically vanish so long as you have the right mindset, of course. Go to a third world. There ain't no depressed people there. They don't have time. They're too busy trying to live. Depression is a luxury, yo. Anyway, very early on in our relationship, would still continue to tell me he liked how small I am and feed into it. Oh my God, see, seeing everything as a negative. No, he's saying it's good that you're not a fatty. He liked how small you are. He liked that you were thin. What's wrong with that? I like when women are thin too. You know what I don't like? When they're not thin. And by the way, were you thin when you met him? Yeah. So he's actively complimenting you, going out of his way to point out how well you take care of yourself and validate that and acknowledge it as a positive. What is he doing wrong here? He's feeding into your already existent body type, which he likes. Isn't that a good thing? So what he's saying to you is, I like how you look. And so he's also complimenting you. Wow, you're in shape, you're fit, you take care of yourself. He likes that you're thin. Are you too thin? Do you have a body dysmorphia issue? Do you not like how you look? Do you not like, is it unhealthy how you look? Are you bulimic? Are you doing something? Do you still have an eating disorder? Are you allergic to food? Do you not eat enough? Do you have anorexia? If not, and your weight is healthy and you're keeping it healthy, then how exactly? Yeah, he's feeding into good health. He's feeding into you being thin. He's feeding into you being healthy by complimenting you on what a good job you're doing at being a disciplined individual. You're exercising, you're taking care of yourself. You're not overeating. What the hell are you talking about? She's trying to paint everything this guy does, even if it's clearly an overt positive, as a negative. I don't think this woman is a good faith actor. She's got an agenda. And it's not positive or good. Okay, so she finally figured out the multi-quote feature, which took me a while to figure out. I got banned for not figuring out how to multi-quote, though, and for posting my own material, which is what you're doing anyway when you post a post, whether it be text or video. But regardless, Mango Reseller said, actually, more than anything, and after quickly going through Ellie's Instagram, I think the Occam's razor approach here is that Tom goes to the anorexic bulimic type. Did she say she was anorexic or bulimic? She said she dealt with those issues in the past. Is she anorexic or bulimic now? Or is she at a healthy weight and he's saying he likes that? He's trying to support her. He's trying to give her validation. He's trying to pay attention to positives and reinforce said positives. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know what you're seeing. I think you're seeing maybe what you want to see. That probably also looks underage. Nah, I think you're reading stuff into it. Man, come on. Now you're reading into it. Anyways, Sacramento 89, my main question here is as follows, and I think it's important that it's answered. What convinced you in going to Kiwi Farms with this information? She replies, this is where I found out all the sus stuff about him. Sweetheart, I would not trust very much what I see here on Kiwi Farms. The majority of these people are folks looking for attention and validation, and they get gratification from trying to tear other people down because they're so insecure and feel so poorly about themselves. So Kiwi Farms is really not a good place to be getting your information about a significant other, okay? I'm not saying that you shouldn't maybe, get information, sift through the posts, but I would take what I read with a grain of salt. I wouldn't take it at face value. To begin with, and Joshua has been kind to me. Yeah, his site's dead. It's dead. He needs content fodder, yo. He's scaring away new posters left and right. It's all the same people ad infinitum posting again and again and again, saying the N-word and just throwing out, ham-fisted insults, just same insults again and again and again. It's boring, man. It's boring, and they scare away anybody interesting or new or who might have takes that are better than the takes of the people who are the long-time chronic posters that live on the site. So yeah, he was nice to you, and he'll overlook rules that he arbitrarily applies to others. Yet don't. Don't use Kiwi Farms as a way to decide whether or not somebody is dating material, okay? Gotcha, gonna get you says, I'm sorry, but when I heard piles of zins, I was expecting some nasty hoarder stuff. Yeah, I saw that pic. I didn't see anything like that. You had me with the text messages and stuff. I don't think 2 cans of, you mean Monster Energy drink? It was a Monster can. Is going to mean anything. This wasn't a good day. I swear it got worse. Well, forgive me if I don't take your word for it at this point. I don't think you're a genuine actor. Was he possessive of you, says Dick Damasta. We know Kai alleged she was controlling and jealous. No, he didn't gaff, actually. In fact, he'd get mad at me for questioning his past, but he didn't care about yours. Didn't you find that a red flag? So the guy didn't really seem to care about you or your past at all? And that didn't bother you? That says more about you, sweetheart. I think that says more about you. But anyway. Okay, so Sacramento was replying to a post from Null, which I believe is Joshua Moon, the owner of Kiwi Farms. So she said, Katie gave me permission to share our DMs. He was saying she was mean for calling Katie borderline personality disorder. But I think that the Sacramento chick was just speaking in a factual manner. But anyway, thought it might help to get the story straight a bit. All right, let's check these texts out. Clorox Katie. Why would she name herself after a bleach? Does she bleach her hair? Is it really that simple? I don't know. All right, she starts by saying, if it makes you feel better, we hadn't talked in over a year. I met him twice in like February 2024. Okay, that's good. Okay, so this is her conversation with Katie. Bus is insane. You're way better than him, girl. How the hell do you know that? You've never met this chick. You don't know her. He was actually shockingly a gooner. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? He jerked off the corn. I mean, he's 23. I don't. What does that mean? He recorded everything we did. Okay, that's bizarre, I guess. But I don't know. Is it? I mean, if you went along with it, is it bizarre? I guess. I never did that. I don't know. Which scared me. But you stuck around for 3 years. Also, he didn't see you, the whole time. Dude was with you for 3 years. Maybe it was you. Maybe you didn't know what you were doing, honey. I don't know. Kind of doubt it. I mean, he's 20. I mean, he was with her for 3 years, and they weren't together since 2024. So he was with her from ages of 19 to 22. Yeah, I guess you're 19 to 22. You're getting it regular, but you still can't get off. Okay, it's probably you. Unless she has a shockingly loose spoon, which I kind of doubt. Unless she said kids, which doesn't seem to be the case. Doesn't seem to be the case. Probably around his age. So 20-year-old poon, and it's not doing it for you. Unless he was gloving it up and, badly circumcised. Yeah, okay, it was probably him. Got some mental hang-ups. I'm so sorry. To TMI, I don't know what that means. Like that, but I'm shocked you are so pretty. Oh, jeez. Okay, so this broad might be genuinely good looking. Basically, he told me not to research who he was, and when I did, I found this Kiwi Farms thing, and he got so mad. Yeah, that's not smart. That just adds validity. That gives validity to the stuff on Kiwi Farms. I mean, why would he care if it wasn't true? I don't care anything. I posted a little bit on Kiwi Farms, and in regards to Tarl, Warwick, and, the people there were very odd and initially they reacted with intense negativity just to what were my takes of Tarl. It was weird. A lot of bizarre people on Kiwi Farms. Again, not a great place to get info. I wouldn't care. These people, who cares what they have to say? They don't know what they're talking about. So now they might have insider information about, Turkey Tom that's bad. But anyway, I had the executive issue. Oh my God, FIRL. I don't know what that means. I would tell you it all. I used to be on Kiwi Farm's brain incel 4chaner. Jeez, another weak-minded simpleton. The fans are evil. He likes it and choke during sex. And basically, I was bleeding for days after it. Yes, oh my God, twin. You were so seen. I hope you know. I understand. He likes to hit and choke during sex. And basically, I was bleeding for days after. But you stayed with him for 7 months. So sorry you went through that. Thank you. I just needed someone to talk to. I understand. I'm here for you, for anything, and I'll support you. Yeah, the sisterhood. Of course you will. Yeah. Yes, unfortunately, his name is Tom. She says, I am a lesbian. I think this is the first message. I don't know why they're going in reverse order like this. I'm okay. She's a lesbian? Did Tom turn her lesbo? Is sex so bad with Tom that every broad that's with him goes the other way? Unless you're talking Turkey Tom, the Jimmy John sub, then you got the wrong woman. I am talking about the Jimmy John sub. You're too good for that Tom, man, girl. I know, we just broke up. He was talking, okay, this is the first message. He was talking to this Belle Delphine girl who was going to leak his nudes, and he punched a hole in his wall. I don't know when you last talked to him, but he's a mess. Who is this? Tom who? Deadass. Well, let me have spoken to name Tom. Okay, so this is starting to get goofy and, like Gossip Girl crap. Katie Story Archives. So here we have some pictures. Pretty poor res. The one on the right's a little better. She says, seen Tom today. Smiley face. I'm not sleeping. I have to go to the airport in 3 hours. And I still have this stupid bruise on my face. Okay, is that a bruise or is that a blemish? I don't know. By the way, that picture on the left is horrible. The one on the right looks better. But the one on the left strikes me as her without makeup. So she's not that attractive, really. But okay, say you've got what you say is a bruise. So what? You say you have a bruise. Just because you have a bruise doesn't mean Tom gave it to you. This is just, he's more this, he said, she said crap, I swear. And if he gave you that bruise at the time, why were you still dating him? And why didn't you say in that message that Tom gave you that bruise? I'm having a hard time believing this stuff, man. Hard time. Okay, so she continues by saying, dump confirming identity of age player Ellie Creepy Hoarder. Might help with timeline because he sent those messages in August of 2025. Said that the nudes were sent 2.5 years prior. Katie will dump in a little bit. She's collecting info regarding her trip to see Tom's injury sustained by Tom. I guess that's what she's trying to say. I don't know. She documented a lot more than me. Why? I mean, was that part of the plan all along? Again, these women seem to have agendas going in, man. Okay, so we got some text messages here. Who was Ellie or whatever? Question mark. What specifically are you talking about? When you ask me questions like this, it's extremely annoying to me. You have to explain, like, number one, I saw this thing, this person with you, and number two, who are they? Instead of this vague way of asking things. Well, she's asking a vague way to try and get you to say things that are more incriminating, that'll make you look worse. She's fishing, you see. Being vague drives me up a wall. Yeah. Yeah, we men don't like that. Be honest, be straightforward, say what you want. You can ask me a question, just be forthcoming. When you ask me questions like, okay, so I did ask too. You didn't tell me why you were asking this or why it came up to you. You just said something out of the deep blue sea. She says, I have a sixth sense. Oh, jeez. Okay, but she doesn't have borderline personality disorder. No. She's not disturbed. Oh, wait, she said she's been to a nut house twice. Well, I'm not going to answer the question unless you explain yourself. Okay. I did ask too. You didn't say. Okay, so this is the same thing over and over. Okay, here it's a continuation, but some of the prior text is in this page. I saw you texting a while ago. She's the girl whose photos were leaked with mine. So that's what we were talking about. Okay. So that's the woman prior he was talking about. He said he had to talk to her. Okay, so she got messages, she got pictures of her, maybe nudes or revealing pics leaked along with Tom, and that's why he was talking to her. I see. And she replies, well, that makes sense. If Tom had his PC hacked and pics of her and him stolen, Well, that makes sense. If Tom had his PC hacked and pics of both him and her were stolen and she contacted him because she saw there were pics of her online or vice versa, I mean, that would make sense. And maybe he's trying to find out whose computer was hacked, his or hers, who might it have been, so he's contacting her, and that's why he contacted her, and that's what you got upset over. Okay. She says, I get it. If I could speak to her again, I would. I don't hate her or anything, but she's just some chick I don't really care much about at this point outside of this particular thing. I don't care either. I was just wondering. Well, now that you revealed you were being a peeper, I explained myself. She says, I wasn't being a peeper at all. You were texting her like half the time I was with you. God forbid. Yeah, I mean, she looked over at your phone, dude. I mean, that's not peeping. Oh, man. Anyway. All right. Anyway. All right. So, see, this is why we want to get both sides of a story. This is why we don't just believe all women. Because she made it sound like he was talking to an ex, communicating with an ex, implying that it was maybe cheating on her. But now we find out he had a legitimate reason to be contacting, to be talking, to be in contact with this ex of his. Because pictures of Tom and her, likely together, I would assume, were leaked. And she was wanting to know if he leaked them. He was wanting to know if she leaked them. If they didn't leak them, who leaked them? So there was a legit reason for him to be in contact with her. But notice she omitted those facts until later on here. Oh, now she's letting us know, oh, yeah, there was a legitimate reason. See, always get both sides. And somebody named the Sultan said, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume his photo was an off-limits item. Did you have the password to it? Did he keep it away from you or stop you if you tried to pick it up? Yeah, I didn't have the password. Never tried to pick it up because I knew it would crash out. Oh, but you wanted to pick up his password. See, why? I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't. I don't give a crap. I'm not going to try and get your password. Oh, man. So her next post is some more text message screenshots. This is really embarrassing, but confirming aggression during S. All right, so Tom, I'm honestly not that good. I have no natural athletic inclination. I believe that. But if you just keep doing it, it'll work. That's all there is. What are they talking about? Maybe he's talking about working out and trying to get her to work out. I don't know. But in 2 years, that's impressive because weren't you twink? Okay, she's trying to compliment. Oh, wait a second. Aren't you feeding into his issues and his insecurities by telling him that he looks real impressive and you like how he looks? You know, isn't that you feeding his, I don't get this. So when he says that she looks good and he likes how she looks, that's bad because he's feeding into her issues. But she does it to him, it's good. But see how you can paint anything in a negative light if you try? And you got to be real careful, man, believing what women say. And men are very, very, very eager to, just lap up, sweep for women. And now you're a bear from the bottom to the top. Oh, Jesus. No, he's not. I've seen his pics. You're really strong because sometimes, here we go. You're really strong because sometimes when you're on top of me and holding up my wrists, I feel like my wrists are going to break in half. I also feel like I've gotten used to the D because at first it used to hurt. So much, but now it's not so bad anymore. Is he maybe that hung? I don't know. He says, my bad, I shouldn't be so aggressive. But you're also like 100 pounds, so that's part of it. She's only 100 pounds? How tall is she? Maybe she's like 5'2", that's normal, but I don't know. I mean, there is a point where a woman's too skinny. I don't know what her size is. I mean, if she's really tiny, then, yeah, 100 pounds might be normal. She says it hadn't hurt that. But wait, I'm not seeing any confirmation of aggression. Where? Where's the aggression? He's not confirming that. He doesn't. Okay, it doesn't hurt that much anymore. Just at the beginning, he says I got to get dressed to get to work. What work? You have no job. Slop content is not work, man. Okay, and looking forward to hanging tomorrow, though. Okay. This is I'm not seeing it. I mean, is this just her attempting to gaslight us, lead us down the primrose path, try to get us to believe that what we're seeing here is confirmation of him acting in an inappropriate manner? And even if there was him admitting that the S was aggressive, I mean, you went along with it. I don't see you objecting anywhere. Now, I mean, you are pointing out that it hurts, but it has hurt, but it's not so bad. But you're not saying that it hurt because he was aggressive. You're saying it hurt because he's got a big D. How's that his fault? Get better lube, sweetheart. Or for goodness sake, ask him to go down on you beforehand and get things lubed up, get things, revving before he puts it in you. But I don't see any proof of aggression here. That's enough. I can't do no more. This is just getting stupid and silly. I can only be entertained so much before I just starting to really lose focus and find this tedious more than anything else. Okay, so I'm going to leave off there, and there'll be one more part coming. But the more and more that I read of this broad, from this broad, the more and more I get the sense that she has some kind of ulterior motive. The more and more I get the sense that she's trying to paint him in a much worse light, or at least a worse light, than is actually factually accurate. I haven't seen any evidence of aggression or anything inappropriate yet from this guy. What I have seen a lot of is her trying to fish for info, to try to use various tactics that a lot of times cops will use. They purposely vague in questions so she can get you to divulge things that you normally would not. She's fishing a lot. She's trying to get him to admit things that would be incriminating, that would make him look bad, that could be used at a future date. I haven't seen any evidence, though, of this guy being hurtful or harming her and all the things that she's presented as supposed evidence. I'm not seeing it. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have not already, hit the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up. I like the thumbs up. And leave a comment. I heard it's good for the algo. Anyway, on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist, also known as the Realist Philosopher. And I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.